Alright, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all honor, and glory. And say, Kol Halayim La, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. And double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the Akim, Wa'akwaf, that scattered abroad the four corners of the earth. And shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom. And today's title of the lesson is called, This is War, Spiritual War. And this title of a lesson came from inspiration of a recent, lesson that Apostle Arimlob did called Spiritual Wickedness in High Places. And it was a very, very uplifting video, a very edifying video, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, man. And as I was watching that video, he said, some very uplifting spiritual things, man. Current things that I was even going through the spirit. It brought me to tears to, certain parts of the video, because, those spiritual entities, these demons, they come in attack you because the Lord Yahweh ordained it, pursuant to Isaiah 45 and verse 7, where the Lord creates darkness and creates light. He creates good and evil, man. So best believe the Lord Yahweh ordains it for magnification of his name. And the Lord can either make you or break you, man. But you always gotta pray unto him and turn back to the Lord, man. But, just like you Akim, you brothers and you sisters, we're part of this body. And Lord willing, we be, the elect, the Lord's men. But we're constantly in war, with your families, your friends, your job, so on, etc. And there was this one video I watched not too long ago from this brother from Miami that's in GMS, who quoted something, another brother quoted, that stuck with me. And he said it gets bloody upstairs. Talking about our heart, our mind, man. It gets bloody up there. And that's a fight itself. That's why it says in Revelation chapter 3, verse 11, Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou, has, and let no man take that crown. Because in this truth, man, ourselves, we are our greatest enemy, man. In this truth, we're battling ourselves each and every day. It's why we got to examine ourselves. It's why we got to ask the Lord to keep under our body, man. Keep ourselves in check and considering our ways. But ultimately, the Lord guides us and who he wants and what he wants in this truth, man. But starting off first, reading out the book itself, I want to start off at Ephesians chapter 6, starting at verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. So we're supposed to be trusting in the Lord, man, with all our might, man. Not leaning into our own understanding. Not limiting the Lord, of his power and his wonders, man. Continuing on. This is verse 11. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. And this armor is this word, man. Starting with the names of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Yahweh, which means he exists. In the name Bahashim, and Yahweh Shai, which means he's the deliverer. And these different precepts is our armory. The Lord has lent us, man. These spears, these swords, these bows, the armor, protection, lies in his word. And the wiles of the devil, which devil goes into meaning deceiver, his tricks, his devices, his traps that he tries to knock us Israelites, because we're his number one enemy, especially ones that's of the circumcision. He tries to knock us off, and into his different devices. The Lord is using a left-handed demon Satan, the spiritual demon Satan, to use his other avenues. Esau, Edom being his physical counterpart to knock us off, Going on in verse 12, and it says, For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, which is the hierarchy of demons, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. You know, so this world is given into the hand of the wicked, pursuant to Job 9:24. You know, Esau Edom in his rulership. You know, you have good versus evil. And I'm going to get a quick precept on that you have good versus evil. Reading out the Apocrypha in Ecclesiasticus chapter 33, starting at verse, or reading at verse 14. Good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. So you have the children of the light, being Yahushua, that light. This is the sons of the Most High versus the sons of the wicked, the three classes of men. You have the left hand versus the right hand. The Israelites, Yasharallah versus Edom. You know, we're constantly in war, man. We're constantly in war. And as it says in verse 12, for we wrestle not against Salakia, against flesh and blood, man. We're not wrestling carnally, man. This whole spiritual war is spiritual. You know? This is verse 13. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Evil day, going into bad times, Jacob's trouble, pursuant to Jeremiah chapter 30 verse 7, Daniel chapter 12 verse 1, 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and 16. All these are perilous times, man. The Lord said he shall plague Egypt like in the days of old, just roughly paraphrasing. Egypt being this modern day Babylon the Great, America. That's why we need to seek the Lord now, so we can store up treasure in heaven, so we can have that hedge of protection in that day. Because if you ain't seeking the Lord, man, you're gonna be out in the open, man. You're gonna be caught up in these insurrections. You know, Esau Edom being a madman sparing none. You know, you ain't gonna have that hedge of protection. You know? This is verse 14. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet should with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Verse 16. And it says, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. Now I want to grab a quick precept dealing with the shield of faith. In Psalms chapter 91, starting at verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. You know, and what's that secret place? I'm going to go to Proverbs chapter 18, starting at verse 10. The name of the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. Now, what is the first thing that stands out in this precept I just read in Proverbs chapter 18, verse 10? Ask yourself. The name of the Lord. It says, the name of the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, is a strong tower. This rocky foundation. This word. You build your house upon sand, man. Yo, you're going to be blown away, man. You're going to be decimated. You're going to be blown away of every wind of doctrine. But if you dwell in these names, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, the righteous runneth into it, you're going to be safe. You know? That's our hedge of protection. While you have these other Hebrew Israelite camps, our 2/3 people dwelling in the shadow of Egypt, Babylon the Great, America. And I'm going to actually get that in Isaiah 30. Salakia, brothers, sisters. This is Isaiah chapter 30, starting off at verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that covering with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, which is iniquity. You know, so woe being to the Salakia. Woe to the rebellious children. Woe being destruction, man. And who's the rebellious children that you see in the house of feasting right now, man? These 2/3 Israelites. You have some of the circumcision, and you have some other of the uncircumcision. You know? Jeremiah 17 verse 5. They trusteth in the arm of flesh. So they trust in Egypt, man. Verse 2. And it says, that walk to go down in Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Again, Egypt being America, Babylon the Great. To strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh. And the modern day Pharaoh is these presidents, man. And to trust in the shadow of Egypt. That's our 2/3 people, man. Circumcision and uncircumcision. That's their hedge of protection. This so-called watered down American dream that's withering away, that's flushing down in the toilet. This kingdom is divided, man. This kingdom is divided, you know, all these prophecies coming to pass. These great birth pains. The Lord is almost back. All right, and this is verse 3. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. What does Babylon the Great mean? Babylon means confusion. So this shadow, this hedge of protection of our people trusting in, is going to fade away and be your shame. I'm going to grab one more precept and then I'm going to head back to Psalms. I'm going to grab Wisdom of Solomon. Salak here. And this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. And this whole chapter is dealing with the wicked. But you can apply it to our people because of the current estate that they're in. You know, this whole chapter is good, but I'm going to get to the point. And this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, starting at verse 5. For our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no returning. For it is fast sealed, so that no man cometh again. You know? Don't it say in the scriptures, the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment? Starting from this rulership. Starting from, you know, the mirth of this land. The house of feasting. These different abominations. Is but for a moment. But the Lord is almost back, man. The captain of our salvation, which is Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. The Lord Yahweh is going to send his son back. But everything that you see going on with your own two very eyes is but for a moment, man. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to Psalms. As soon as I get it through spirit, back to Psalms 91. Because there's still a little bit more meat in there. I'm going back to Psalms chapter 91, verse 2. And it says, I will say of the Lord Yahweh, he is my refuge and my fortress, his rocky foundation. My power in him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. You know? So that snare of the fowler is Esau Edom. Esau laying snares through his media, you know, his devices, his witchcraft and sorceries. which is his right hand, pursuant to Psalms 144, verse 11. You know, it says, surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler. It says in Isaiah, fear not, O worm Jacob, I shall deliver thee. You know, it even says in Jacob's trouble, you know, the Lord is going to deliver Jacob, man. He's going to deliver his Salaki. He's going to deliver his elect. And this is verse 4 in Psalms 91. Here's the point. And he shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His trust shall be thy shield and buckler. Almost said thy, Salakia. You know? So his feathers and wings being the chariots, man. The salvation of the elect, his purchased possessions. Where the elect shall be changed in the twinkling of an eye into that immortal clothing, which is, you know, it could be another lesson for another time. You know? But the feathers in his wings are the chariots, man, that watch over the elect day and night. You know? And it says, his truth shall be thy shield and buckler. That's our hedge and protection. Again, Lord willing, we be those men. You know, that's our hedge. That's our protection. Dwelling in the shadow. That's our hedge. The names of the Most High. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Through faith. And, you know, you can go read faith in... Matter of fact, I might as well go get it in Hebrews 11, man. Salakia. I'm going to grab it in Hebrews. Salakia, brothers, sisters. Alright, this is Hebrews chapter 11, starting at verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for the evidence of things not seen. I'm going to jump to verse 5. By faith Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found, because the Most High had translated him. For before his translation he had this testimony, that he pleased the Most High. But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So it is impossible, man, to first and foremost, in order to please the Most High, you must have the names. Salaki, I'm going to drink some water real quick. But in order to please the Most High first, you must know his law, statutes, commandments. You must have his names, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. And you must believe. Faith. Faith is a big part. Just as much as having faith, you have to have fear. You have to have everything that correlates within the Bible, within these scriptures. You got to be diligent. You got to pray. You got to fast. You got to watch. You got to, be vigilant. You got to do the work. You got to go on the highways and byways and the hedges. That's all part of having faith in the Lord. And it says faith without works is dead, man. So you got to have works to back up your faith. But I want to go back to Ephesians, back in chapter 6. Salakia, as soon as I get back to it. And this is Ephesians chapter 6, going back to verse 17. And it says, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. What's the word? What's the sword? I'm going to grab it real quick in Hebrews. I was just in Hebrews. Salakia. But this sword is the word, man. So this is Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. For the word of the Most High is quick and powerful, and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of the soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. You know, so this word is a two-edged sword, man. And a more spiritual aspect, if you want to look at it, Yahweh Shai is the two-edged sword, man. As states in John chapter 1, verse 14, this word made flesh. You know, he's the comforter. He's the one that has the key of David, man. He opens and closes the door, man. So through Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, man, we get all things. We get wisdom, we get knowledge, we get understanding, we get protection. The Lord blesses us. He looks out for us each and every day, man. He's our ultimate weapon. Just like it says in Corinthians, I want to say in Corinthians, the weapons of our warfare isn't carnal, but pulling down of strongholds. That's just plain, man. Yasha Allah's blessing, man, is His word, man. It's the kingdom. Esau Edom's blessing is the fatness of this earth. He's supposed to live carnally. He's supposed to kill. He's supposed to steal. He's supposed to do all these things. But that's not our people's job, man. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai is our protection, our spiritual warfare in any situation. You know, it's why you see 2/3 of our people dying in the streets, and more will die in perilous times, man, getting caught up in these insurrections and these things going on, man. Pursuant to Amos chapter 5, verse 19. You know? So, this was just a quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. And I want to give all praises, all honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakakwadash. And double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the Aki and Wakwaf that scattered about the four corners of the earth. And shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.